Hey guys, so I know there was no video last week. I was a little sick, and I was also really busy, graduating. So, surprise Monday video. There'll also be one on Thursday, but I wanted to make one now so that you weren't missing one, and I also had a lot of things to talk about, because I'm done with grad school, and that's kind of weird. And I know most of my videos are usually aimed at younger players because most of you guys are, but I wanted to talk to the grad students slash potential grad students slash future grad students. Um, because I just spent 2 years of my life in grad school and I feel like there's some things that I wish I had known. Um, and yeah. So the first thing that I want to say is try to get used to your school as soon as possible. We're all coming from different places, and your undergrad will be different from where you're going to grad school unless you happen to be in the same place. But that doesn't happen that often. So it's going to be a different system. Your teacher's going to be different. They're going to have different protocols. Learn as much as you can, as quickly as you can. Ask questions, ask the other students, and get accustomed to it as soon as possible. It's a really huge pain to be still acclimatizing to the situation when you're in your second semester because you're only there for 2 years and you really have to make the most of it. If you're a doctorate student, that's a different story, but you're still not there for a very long time. So it's really important to really be on it and get used to it as soon as possible so you can actually make the most of it. The second thing is say yes to as much as you possibly can and seek out opportunities and collaborate with your fellow musicians. You never know who you're going to work with and who you're gonna need connections to in the future. So if you've played with as many people as you can and everyone likes you and you have had a lot of experiences, you're more likely to get called in the future like, hey, I went to grad school with this person, they're fantastic oboist and I really need an oboist for this thing or whatever. Or it's also someone can call you up and be like, hey, I have a gig I can't do. I think you'd be perfect for it. Here's the details. Can you do it? I've had that happen even in grad school. So who's to say that it won't happen later in life? Plus, playing with other people is fun and it's a great experience and you can learn a lot from other musicians and your peers. Because it's not just your teachers that you're learning from, it's also the other people around you who've had different experiences. I know more about modern music than most people, but I still go to my friends to ask about Baroque or classical or things that I know less about, and the same as they'll ask me if they have to learn about George Crumb or Messiaen. So there's always that opportunity. Um, and the third thing is don't pigeonhole yourself. I'm a contemporary player. That's what I want to do, but I'm still saying yes to playing Mozart, to playing Handel, to doing anything that anyone wants me to. I played with a vocalist on a piece written in the 18th century this year. Um, I say yes to experiences, not and I don't limit myself to what I'm really good at or what I want to do. Because the reality is, I'm gonna have to gig in whatever I can, and I need those skills. And I also need those skills to be able to pass them on to the next generation. I want to teach, and so I need those skills to do other things. Um, so don't say no to something just because it's not what you do. Don't look down on gigs that aren't exactly your expertise. Take them if you can, and if not, pass them on to someone who might want them as well. Um, and that's the fourth thing is don't screw over your classmates. Yes, music school is competitive, and yes, we are working with people who will eventually be competing against us for jobs. But if you're nice to them and if you're a decent human being, people are more likely to work with you even over someone who might be better. Um, if you have a gig you can't do, pass it on to someone else. If you have an opportunity that someone else might be interested in, that there's other spots for, tell everyone. Um, be helpful and give other people opportunities that they might not know about. Um, because honestly, they will hopefully pay it back in the future. And also, being a decent human being is great. Um, and finally, it's 2 years of your life, and it's going to be some of the hardest 2 years you're going to have experienced, but it's totally worth it. Don't let yourself get distracted. You are a student, and yes, you might have to work, and yes, you might have all these other things that you have to do, but take advantage of those 2 years, or 5 as if you're a doctorate student, but I'm clearly thinking of master's students. Take advantage of those 2 years and really do something with them. Find what you want to do and get extremely good at it. And meet people and experience what the music world is like before you really have to go out into the real world. Um, don't look back on your masters and say, I wish I had done more. My outlook on the entire time I was at Indiana was, I want to come out of this saying, I probably should have done less. Um, and that has gotten me where I am today, and hopefully will get me farther in the future. And I loved my 2 years at Indiana, and I think that I really made the most of it. And I don't want anyone else to go through their masters and go, huh, there were so many opportunities that I just let pass me by. I wish I had done more. So yeah, as always, if you guys have video ideas, let me know, and I will see you in a few days.